Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this. Me realizing that once again I forgot to put my bracelet on, and I need to hurry up. Oh, I got my tissue that I was blowing my nose on. How about that? I have to hang on to my tissues and reuse them, so yay, no money. Also, running around on my lap, I have a hamster. What a surprise. It could have been an ocelot or a beaver or, a ring-tailed baboon, but instead it's a hamster. And I'm holding on to his little nub of a tail because he's such a cutie. But this is little Dr. Snurf. I woke him up and got him awake and out of his house, and then I nabbed him. And he panicked, minor panic. He flipped over onto his back and was, kicking at me with his feet to try and get away because he didn't want to die. He didn't know that I wasn't going to kill him, so he had minor panic. But I was very careful to not scare him. He's trembling because, he's out in the open. So I'm going to put him back in his cage so he can rest, go back to sleep. Here we go, little guy. Thank you so very, very much. And then I'll pull the lid back over so that it's darkish, and then you can rest. And I'll let him just rest for like the next 8-12 hours. Only if I see him awake sometime tonight after I'm done will I bother him. I don't want to wake him up because, I already did. But he was already awake. He wasn't asleep. He was just in his house and resting. And so when I made noise, he came out to see what was happening. Definitely a thumbs up. I slept very poorly last night. It seems like I have 2 or 3 nights of not sleeping well at all, and then I'll sleep for a little while, and then another couple nights of not sleeping, and I'm in the not sleeping trough of the cresting waves. So yay, my wavelength of sleep. Thumbs up on that. I mean, it was about 1 o'clock before I finally got to bed and lights out and all that, and I go to bed anywhere from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. It depends on how tired I am, because I don't want to go to bed and then just lie there with my eyes wide open, because insomnia really blows. So I usually wait until I'm feeling the effects of sleep need, and then I go to bed. So I fell asleep pretty quick because I was tired. And then 3 o'clock, I was open. Wide awake. Yay! Now, it wasn't until about 5 o'clock that I was wide awake. But from 3 o'clock onward, 2 hours after I fell asleep maximum, I was awake and flopping over onto my right side, where it was a relief from the pain in my shoulder from being on my left, but it hurts from my base of my neck down to my ankles when I'm on my right side. And it's only a matter of time because the pain in my back just grows. My spine has a bend in it so that when I lay on my right side, it's like a plate. You're putting pressure on a plate. The plate, you want it to smush flat, but it can't. It's got a bend in it like this, and it's not going to do it. Whereas you flip it over, it's like that, and I just sink into the mattress, and it's good. So at least I can sleep on one side, at least semi-comfortably. And I know I've explained that before, but life is life. And thank you again for coming along with me on this journey of exploration. Now, last night I did go walkies, and it was late. And because it was late and there was showers predicted, and when I say showers predicted, if you looked on the forecast, it said showers, but then you go down to the precipitation percentage chance, and it was only a 51% chance of rain. Well, with my luck, that's what would have happened, and I didn't want to get wet, and I was trying to get to bed so that I could take a shower this morning, which didn't happen because I finally got out of bed at around 6 in the morning, but I'm so tired I don't have the spoons to take a shower right now. Or, if you prefer to look at it, because think of it that life as in spoons is actually kind of while it makes sense if you think about it, it's also kind of confusing. So it's like, think of it instead as the percentage charge of your rechargeable battery. You know, if you're a normal human being and you go to bed, when I say normal human being, I mean everyone's got issues. And so you never fill up to 100%. But if you consider averages, you know, an average person, their average battery recharges to 100% every morning. But people with various chronic issues, I mean, I figure I'm usually around 40 or 50% charge on my rechargeable battery. So when I wake up, I'm about 50% charged on a really, really good day. And I'm lucky. I'm super lucky because I talk to people on Facebook and on Twitter with all their chronic issues. They're lucky if they get a 20% charge. Some people even just a 10% charge. I mean, I shower about every third or fourth day because it's just exhausting to shower. If you look at it on a spoons level, it takes about 3 spoons to take a shower. And that's a lot of spoons. And and you look at it spoon wise, I've got about 25 to 30 spoons to spend on a really, really good day. Or if you look at it on the rechargeable battery biz, you know, if I'm at 40 or 50% charge, it's a good 5 or 10% drain on my battery to take a shower. Ugh. So I shower about every third or fourth day, but some of the people I talk to, it takes once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. They still sponge bathe, but it's taking a shower is a luxury that they just can't do all that often. Life with chronic issues sucks. And just as a reminder, I mean, physically, I have fibromyalgia. I've got all kinds of nerve damage from all my time working as a nurse's aide. I worked 13 years. Well, it was about a year. Well, I did a full year of light duty where I just worked in the kitchen, setting up the kitchen, transferring stuff in and out, well, setting up the dining room, helping to feed people in the dining room, transferring light stuff from the kitchen to the dining room, that sort of thing. Had to get my food license thing back. And so for a year I worked light duty. And then for a time, I just plain could not work. While they were trying to see if I could come back to work. I was going to various therapies. I was off duty. I was out and broken. But that was just much, much less than a year that I was just broken and not working. So for about 13 and a half, 14 years, I did full work as a nurse's aide, working in both geriatric care and in skilled nursing / Medicare wing work. Now, the geriatric care is where you have to go in. If you work at night, you turn people every 2 hours and you clean them up if they're incontinent, and then you dress people in the morning. If you work on the morning shift, you get people dressed, you feed people, you have to put people back down for naps, and then you get them back up again if they're going to feed them first snacks or whatever, however the situation is with them, leaned up in bed, whatever. You have to get people back up out of bed later for lunch. You got to get people to their various therapies. If you don't have a shower team, you have to give showers. And if you work evening shift, you're again putting people down for a nap. You're getting them up for dinner, and then you're putting everyone down for bed. It's a lot of work on your back. It is hard work. And in fact, they had done studies where the government, with no vested interest in trying to find out, weight the data in any particular direction, just tried to figure out which jobs in the US were the worst for backs. And it's doing nursing home work is it. It is horrible for your back. It's worse than coal mining. And I've injured my back so many times working as a nurse's aide until I damaged my back the last time in 2003, June. It was either June 5th, June 3rd, or June 15th. With my memory, I can no longer even remember. But it was in the first half of June 2003. And I was helping some person with a hip-to-toe cast because they had broken their femur, and they were in the Medicare wing, skilled nursing facility, because when you've got a hip-to-toe cast and you're not supposed to put weight on that leg and you have to go to the bathroom, you need help. And so she was in the Medicare wing for a time, getting that help before she could go home. And I was helping to support her cast, and I was bending my legs, keeping my back straight, but it did not matter. And it felt like two people with sledgehammers swung those sledgehammers right into the small of my back. And you could hear my back go pam, pam, as I don't know what happened, but it was horrific. And I've never recovered fully from that one. That was the straw that literally broke the camel's back. And I was the camel. I tried working regular nurse's aide work for a time until my regular nurse, who, if she had a choice of making her dream team of aides, I was first name on the team. And she asked me, she was saying that your work has really suffered since this. What's happening? And I started crying while I was talking to her because my back hurt so much. It was because of her they put me on light duty and then started sending me to all these therapies to see what they could do. They even burned the sensory nerves in my back with radio waves. And while that reduced the pain from 0 to 10 as, nothing and intolerable, it reduced it from my standard 8 to a 6. Nerves grow back, and after a year, it was back up to an 8. The only thing that's ever worked has been two things, and it's had to have been increasing amounts for the first one, and that has been methadone, opiates, and it's always had to be increasing amounts. That's why I was up to 45 milligrams daily. So, but that's really, really bad for it. I'm one of the lucky people. I have been opiate dependent, but not opiate addicted. Addicted is when you have to have it because you're going to start going through withdrawals and there's no other real purpose for the drug that you're taking other than to feed the addiction. I've never had that. I've been using opiates for a reason, my back pain. I've never abused it because I've never felt anything from methadone other than just pain control. I am so lucky that way. Before I was on methadone, my tolerance for anything was just blasted into the stratosphere because I was on almost 28 different prescription meds that were not opiates or pain meds, anything like that, but they were trying to treat all the various issues and fibromyalgia, and with everything I had, my tolerance for everything was blasted sky high. So even on 45 milligrams of methadone, I felt nothing but pain control. I've never understood what people get from methadone. I've always thought that was like the perfect opiate in that you don't feel anything but pain control. But I understand that it was just me, that all I've ever felt was pain control. So in that way, I am one of the opiate, opiate winners, one of the opiate success stories. That's the word, not winner, but an opiate success story, in that I never abused it. I never felt anything, so abusing it was, So there was no abuse, and I was on it, and it took care of my pain to a degree, but What's worked better is actually cannabis. That's the second thing that's worked for pain control. And even at that, my tolerance is still, because of all the stuff I've been on, sky high. All I've ever felt for all the cannabis that I take. And I ingest cannabis in like to insane degrees. I take cannabis capsules so that the edible effects of cannabis are always going on and inside of me. I vape THC concentrates. I smoke still. Oh, this one's terrible. I knocked it onto the floor and now it's covered in dust and oh my gosh, and cat hairs. But I've still got this stuff that I smoke. I take cannabis to an insane degree and it works. But all I get is pain control. My tolerance is starting to come down. And so I start to feel more effect other than just pain control, but just slightly. And that's hopefully going to get better. And hey, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm going to read them all afterward. Thumbs up the ones I do. Answer as many as I can. I can't get to them all. There's a lot of comments, and so I do what I can. But for right now, I'm just thanking you for having left me a comment. Good comment, bad comment, or indifferent comment. Thank you for having left me a comment. Abusive comments, I trash and don't even read up until, I read them until I understand they're abusive, and then they're gone. But if you can be contrary, you can disagree violently with me, as long as you're not abusive, I'll leave a comment in there. That's fine. Excuse me. And I'm not, if I mispronounce your username, no disrespect is intended, and it's a range of 20 to 25 because with my memory, and even though I count American Sign Language, I get lost. Now, before I get too far, we have Lol. We had, yes, indeed, an Avian, greatly appreciated. Jamie's Division, thumbs up and thank you. Marcella, greatly appreciated. Ask, thumbs up and thank you. Ray and Frem, greatly appreciated. Pandora NYC1, always good to see you in the comments, greatly appreciated. Fred Maves, thank you very, very much. The Bosch TV, greatly appreciated. Aiden Diaz, thumbs up and thank you. Alex Davies, greatly appreciated. Red047, greatly appreciated. Michael Jordan, greatly appreciated. Kathy Kitscat, good to see you in the comments. Jonathan Torres, greatly appreciated. Jessica Sutton, thumbs up and thank you. Jadicus, thumbs up. Donald Trump, I have never eaten a dandelion. That comment I just read, and no, I've never eaten a dandelion. Underscore Cherry, greatly appreciated, and Dusk is wonderful. Mighty Sauce with digits instead of vowels, largely E's and I's, and Gabe is a meme indeed. Epic Gamer, greatly appreciated. Thomas S, thumbs up and thank you. Emoji Barbudo, greatly appreciated, and I'll have 2 number 9s with extra dip. Okay, Big Smoke, definitely a thumbs up, and thank you all. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people, definitely a good thing. I always try to keep CJ as buff as possible. I spend a lot of time in the gym when I play. I eat a lot so that I can get my weight up, and then I go into the gym and I get myself buff and I run a lot. I like to keep CJ big. I also like kind of the goatee look. Just thought I'd mention. Anyway, if you could check out my various links, I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, NearlySeniorCitizen.com. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. But if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I do take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. Definitely a thumbs up. And if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be very cool, greatly appreciated. I would understand if you don't want to. I mean, hey. But if you are down with it, I will do my very best to keep you entertained from now until the literal end of time. And this shirt was given to me by a very kind subscriber and commenter. My hamster thinks I'm cool. Indeed. definitely a thumbs up. Oh, hokey smoke, 19 minutes and 30 seconds. I've got this video, I've got a walkies video I've got to edit, so I may have 4 videos again today. How about that? So, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that, my friend, is a very good thing. I rambled on a lot about nothing today.